What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and I just want to apologize for two things before I start this. First of all, I want to apologize if I sound terrible. It's just that time of year, a lot of stuff going on up here. Yeah, it's really messing with me. So if I cough a lot or if I sound really sick, kind of. Also, I want to apologize because I've just been so busy with stuff. I just have not had a chance. I know I say this pretty much every Chelsea video now. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a lot of videos uploaded that I haven't made public yet. The number just keeps growing. I don't know why I haven't had a chance to get to them yet, but I will. I will. But anyways, let's talk about this game. I mean, it's interesting because the last two games, obviously against Palace, I didn't have a problem with the result. I loved getting the win. But the performance that I've been having problems with recently, the performances haven't been great even when the results have been good. That game, I was okay with a kind of scrappy performance, so I was happy with it. I was fine. This game, even though the result is disappointing, a 0-0 draw at home, the performance was still not bad. And you kind of look at everything surrounding the game. You look at the injuries we had. You look at the fact that, you have to play Murata now. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, why we weren't able to get a goal today. We probably should have had one. There was one offside that wasn't really offside, but I'll talk about the rest in a second. But, it's disappointing. It's disappointing to drop 2 points at home against Southampton, who really hasn't been doing too well this season. But we're hindered by injuries, and the performance wasn't bad. We just, once again, couldn't finish, and that's really not much more we can do on the field, Aside, obviously, there are players that need to step up their game, but the performance kind of justified how the game went. We dominated the play. Defensively, we didn't give them a chance, which is really good because there have been a lot of games where we've given them several chances. This one, they really didn't have a chance. Even at the beginning of the second half, it started to feel similar to the Leicester result. It's like, oh goodness, here we go. They're coming back at us. But it was like the first 2 or 3 minutes, they were flying high for a second, and then all of a sudden their possession was done, and it was us again pushing back. So yeah, I'll say overall the performance wasn't bad. The result obviously is very disappointing, but based on what we had on the field, it's hard not to see what happened. And as far as Sarri is concerned, the tactics I don't think are the problem in this game. The biggest problem I think is you've got Murata up top, and he just doesn't create enough for you. Yes, he did score, and it should have counted because he wasn't offsides, but it still doesn't feel like we have enough options when he's playing up top, and it's a problem. And the only problem I do have with Sarri is the comments that he made before the game and even after the game. I heard one of the commentators saying that he has said we're not in the market for a striker after this game. After, how Murata and Giroud have been having issues, playing Hazard up top, worked for one game against Man City, and since then has been hit or miss, as far as the results are concerned. So to say that we are not in the market for a striker is a dumb statement. And on top of that, after the game, he's saying something about how, I don't even remember what it said. I saw it on the Twitter account. He said something about how the difficulties that we're dealing with, the injuries or something along those lines off the field are hurting us. And all I'm thinking is, you keep talking about how we have too many players. You keep talking about how we don't need to go get more people. But yet clearly we do, because we have injuries. We have players that aren't playing well enough that we need to replace, or, we need a striker, which is a big thing. And it's like, he's not saying any of that. And it's like everything he says makes me think he doesn't think we need a striker. And we clearly do. Because we've only had one good striker this year, and that was Giroud. And he hasn't been playing well recently, and now he's hurt. So we do need a striker. But that's the only problem I have with Sarri. I mean, obviously, I know he's not really that involved with the transfer stuff. In fact, I read an article saying that he was scared to get into the transfer stuff. I can't remember if I talked about this in the last video or not, but it kind of feels like, well, maybe Chelsea's the best place for him because typically the board runs the transfers anyway. So, but yeah, that's the only problem I had. I mean, today, the subs that he made, one was forced upon him with a Willian injury, and then the other one, not a bad sub, not the best one, I think, but still not bad. And then no third sub, which honestly we didn't really have anybody on the bench that could have helped us. So maybe he could have put like a youth player, a youth striker or something on the bench that we could have turned to maybe just throw something different out there. Um, who knows? You know, that's what Man U did with Rashford, and look how that turned out. So I don't know. Maybe just give somebody a chance. Maybe Taylor Crossdale, I think, is still at the club. Maybe just put him on the bench, and if we need a late sub, you know, something a little different, just throw him on, see what happens. But anyways, ooh, like I said, it's that time of year. Let's talk about the refs next, though, because it wasn't a poorly called game, but there were two big things. First of all, the offsides. He was not offsides. You slow it down, and it is pretty much he's even with the last defender. And I get the fact, okay, it's Murata, he's offside a lot, but that one he wasn't. And it's kind of frustrating. It's like, okay, I get he's offsides a lot. I get that he runs behind the defender too much, or he's lazy and doesn't get back quick enough, and he's offsides. So the one time where he is onside, I'm just like, really, you're even going to call him offside for that? Is that just a reputation thing? Like how Costa would typically get watched extra careful by the referees and get a lot of fouls called on him because that was Costa. With Murata, it's like, oh, if he's even possibly like an inch offside, he deserves it. Is that just the reputation he has now? Like, I don't know. I'm a little frustrated with that. But the big thing for me today is Jonathan Moss did not do a good job of controlling this game. I mean, it was so obvious from pretty much the beginning of the first half. Anytime the ball went out of play, it was almost 30 extra seconds every single time the ball went out of play. Oh, grab the ball, wipe it. Okay, here, you want me here? Okay. And I'm sitting there thinking, do something, say something, do something, say something, do something. And he never did. He never talked to anybody. He never blew his whistle to say, hey, let's go. He just kept, I got it. I got it. No, I got it. I got it. Oh, let's see. Let's go 4 minutes, you know, because we had 3 injuries and then they were wasting time the entire second half. 4 minutes is about right, you know. It's not like they wasted 5 minutes or anything, plus the injuries. No. They wasted about maybe a minute or so, whatever. As many times as the keeper held the ball, as many times as they took forever when the ball went out of bounds. I mean, he nobody got a card for wasting time, which I think is ridiculous. Nobody got talked to for wasting time either. The only player that got talked to about anything was Murata because he kept stepping in front of the keeper, which is stupid. But I mean, he's trying to say something about, hey, let's speed it up, and the referee is just like, play on, let's go. Not saying anything to the Southampton players. And I think that's not right for a referee to do. It's not right to ignore that because that's cheating the game. That's why you book them, because one, they're wasting time that you're not actually going to add on to the end of the game, because referees never add on the amount that's actually wasted. Because let's be honest, it was probably about 4 minutes that were wasted alone without the injuries. So it's not just that, it's also the fact that they are slowing down the play. They are stopping the game, and they're not supposed to be able to do that. The only person that's supposed to be able to stop the game is the referee. And so by allowing them to stop the game, you're allowing them to take control of it, even though you're supposed to be the one that's doing the officiating. And he never did anything about it. He never stopped them from doing it. And hey, if you're not going to card us, we're going to do it the whole game. That's what they're saying. So I was really disappointed with that. I just felt like it, first of all, it took the enjoyment out of the game. A lot of what Southampton took the enjoyment out of the game. You know, they did not come to play. They just came to sit back and just defend the entire game. And that's not entertaining. So whenever you do that, and then on top of that, you waste time when the ball goes out of bounds, that's even less entertaining. And that's what sports are. They're a form of entertainment. And when you go and do that, I realize it's competition. You're trying to get a point out of it, but you should be penalized for doing stuff like that. And Moss never did. So I don't think he had control of the game. I don't think he had any sense of what was going on, and I'm really disappointed about that. Aside from that, though, let's talk about the individuals. Kepa, not much to do today, so can't really judge him on much. You know, he made like one good save, and even then it wasn't great. It was just good. But aside from that, I mean, he was on his feet most of the time, and he didn't lose it today, thankfully. But it was still some scary moments. And the defense, about the same. Alonso played a little bit better today, but still not good enough. Didn't provide anything that. Okay, let's talk about the last part though, because I do want to harp on the fact that you wasted a chance. You were inside the box, and then you felt a touch, and you decided to try to Salah it, but you're not Salah. The referees aren't going to give you a call because you're not the special one of the Premier League like Salah is. So you go down easy, you're not getting a call. Okay, so stay on your feet and take a shot. And then he doesn't. He falls over because he wants to get a foul, doesn't get it, and then he gets the ball again at the top of the box and just wastes it by hitting an easy shot that the keeper can easily save. It's like, you're not doing anything that makes me want to keep you on the field. You're doing more and more and more stuff that makes me dislike you, Alonso. Get off the field. So that last little portion of it where he took two terrible shots that led to nothing, and then on top of that took a dive trying to get an easy penalty, which we know we're not going to get. Liverpool is the only team getting it, just like Man City were the only team getting it last year. We're not going to get that foul. So I was really frustrated with that. But the other three all played okay today. Like I said, we were solid defensively. Never really gave them a chance, so I was happy with it. In the midfield, Conte, once again, doing what he can out of position. Had some good moments on the ball, had some good defensive moments. Overall, probably still one of our more underrated players because people don't realize he's still doing what he can, even not in his best position. That's impressive. Jorginho was a little bit better today, but really didn't affect anything going forward. I can't think of one chance that was created from him, and I'm watching him send these balls over the top to their defenders, and I'm thinking Fabregas is putting that on their foot if he's in, and I don't know why Fabregas didn't come in for Jorginho. That was the one that was okay because Fabregas came on and did well, but I honestly thought he should have been the deeper one. He should have been the one coming from the back, picking it up and finding that ball over the top because he can. And we know he can, and he still did it even from a slightly higher position on the break sometimes. But you put him in early, you put him in for Jorginho for that deep role, and now he's unlocking the defense with those balls from deep. Where Jorginho can't seem to find the power to get it over, Fabregas will. He'll find the right pass that will unlock the defense, cause them problems, and now they have a problem to deal with. Now the defense is actually tired instead of just, oh, you're going to send it right to my head? Thanks. Head it away. That's pretty much what the most of the game was. Anytime we tried to go over the top, except for like twice, it was too short and it ended up, or it was too short and it hit the defender, or it was too long and it hit the goalkeeper. Fabregas would have found the middle ground if he were in. But sorry, didn't want to do that for some reason. But yeah, so aside from that, though, Jorginho, he started to step up his game defensively. He reads the play pretty well, so he started stepping in and winning passes and also kind of stopping players from having a free run at our defense, which is good. So at least that part of his game is coming along, but I still just think distribution-wise, all he's good at is just the short balls, keeping the ball moving across, and that's about it. And we don't need that. We're a team that needs to penetrate. And so get a penetrator on, get Fabregas on. He will penetrate the defense with his passes. And yes, I realize I nearly said he will penetrate with his balls over the top. That was close. I almost said that, but then I realized how awful that would sound. And I'm just awake enough to not make that joke, even though I kind of did. Barkley on the other side of the midfield three did average. Nothing really special from him. Just really didn't notice him for most of the game. And it's kind of disappointing because he had started to step up his game more with the chances he was getting, but today really didn't show anything. And we needed him to. We needed him to get more in the attack, help out, and really put some pressure on the defense, and he just never did. He never got involved. When the ball did come to him, it was either a long touch that led to him giving away the ball, or it's a bad pass, and now we got to go back. And it just felt like the play wasn't quick enough from him. So I'm disappointed with Barkley. The front three, Willian, Hazard, Morata. Willian, until he went off, is about the same. He works hard, sometimes does some good stuff on the ball, but then when it gets to the final third, just doesn't have any clue. I did see a post today on Twitter, which I don't want to admit it, but it made me laugh. It was Willian with his wife, And it said, my man is so lacks creativity so much that he made the same daughter twice, and it had their daughters and their twins. And I'm just like, man, it's so true. It's mean, but it's so true. Um, so yeah, just I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect anymore. I know we just signed Pulisic today, so obviously he went back on to Dortmund on loan. So we're not going to see him come in for Willian. But Pedro and Hudson-Odoi, now that Loftus-Cheek is back healthy, once those three are fit, I mean, I'd take any of those three over Willian. I mean, Loftus-Cheek came on, and he didn't start off well. You know, he had some rough moments at first, but second half, he was one of our best players. I mean, just from what he created. And it's difficult to create. But he is strong, he's tall, he's fast, he's got a pretty good touch. And it's funny because he's one of those players that will just sort of run through you. And when that happens, somehow it just deflects right off his foot perfectly to where it needs to go. He doesn't mean to do it half the time, but it works out. So right now, I take Loftus-Cheek over Willian. That's just how it is. Murata, same old Murata. You know, I've complained about him before. He makes the wrong runs. He's offsides a lot. Doesn't challenge for the ball half the time. It's funny because my dad even pointed this out. There was a cross that came in from Aspilicueta, and it was good. It was a good cross. It wasn't an Alonso cross that goes way over the top or short and it's like to nobody. No, it was a good cross into a good position. Murata makes his run, and it's not in the path of his run, but he keeps going. And my dad's like, if that's Giroud, he's changing his run. And it made me think of Giroud's backheel goal that he scored for Arsenal against Sunderland. The ball is behind him, but he reaches behind him, backheel, crossbar, and in. It was impressive because he changed his body. He had to change something to get the ball. Murata, he makes the run. The ball's not in his run. Throws his hands up, keeps running, and now he's done. He's offside. He's out of the play. If the ball does manage to stay in, he's not involved. Why not, okay, run. Okay, the ball's now here behind me. All right, now I need to change, come back. Maybe I can receive it. Maybe I can flick it on to somebody. He never does. Ball chipped in. Defender's going to win in the air instead of putting a challenge on him to make the defender make a mistake or something, unless he's in one of his little moods where he goes in and stupidly undercuts him and gives them an easy foul. If he's not in that mood, he's just going to stand and watch as they head it away without any challenge. How does that help us? It doesn't give us anything. And that's my biggest problem with Murata. So, and then Hazard, kind of in and out of the game, not as effective as he normally is, but a lot of that is down to the fact that it's such a crowded area. He didn't have the space he normally did to run. He still created a few chances, still looked probably our best player out there in the attacking third area. But yeah, just it's difficult whenever you've got 10 men on one side of the field, or in one small portion of the field. And then as far as the subs that came on, like I said, Loftus-Cheek came on. I thought he did well. I thought he was probably our second best player throughout the game. I'd give our best player to probably Aspilicueta or Hazard, one of those two. And then Loftus-Cheek is up there in the mix because he came on and I thought he did well. Fabregas, I thought he came on and did well too. Not great. He still had a few moments where you could see he's not as quick as he used to be. But I tell you what, his passing is just incredible. And I'm shocked we haven't tried to use him earlier. I know he was injured last game, but his passing can unlock the defense so easily because they've packed it in. They are standing there just as a wall trying to block us, and he just sees these little passing lanes. He sees these little passes, the one that should have been the goal. I mean, just a simple little ball to him, and he sees it, sees Murata in behind, and just puts it right at his feet. And if the AR's not an idiot and calls Murata offside, or if they have VAR, it probably stands as a goal. But it's stuff like that he can do. Or even from deeper. He'll pick his head up after he'll get the ball early, sees the counterattack option, gives it to him, and sets up some of our best plays. Why have we not started using him earlier? Why is he not starting over Jorginho, who honestly has not provided much of anything? How come Sarri can't see this? I mean, just in the 20 minutes alone that he was on the field, so much more than Jorginho has brought throughout this entire season. So why are we not starting him? It's bizarre. I can't explain it. I don't know what the thinking is there, but it seems obvious to me. Fabregas is a better option than Jorginho. I mean, I've already talked about how Conte deserves to play there, but if you are going to have one in, it should be Fabregas. He is the better option of the two. He's going to provide the better passes. He may not be as quick as Jorginho, but Jorginho is not that quick anyway. So it's not like you're trading a speedster midfielder for a slower, older midfielder. No, they're both slower in pace compared to a lot of midfielders. But Fabregas has got the better passing. He's going to help you whenever these defenses pack it in. So let's use him. But no, sorry, doesn't change anything. We come out with a 0-0 draw, and it's frustrating. So, yep, that's about all I can say. We 2 points dropped again. Liverpool, Man City face each other tomorrow. We have a chance to gain some points on at least one of those teams, and we muck it up. And yeah, Arsenal wins, Man U wins, and all of a sudden they're coming for us. We'll be lucky to get into the Europa League next year the way we're going right now. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. I know. But it's still frustrating. It's frustrating to watch. Like I said, I understand there are a lot of injuries. There are a lot of players out right now. But Sarri needs to change something. He can't just keep going to these games the same way, the same tactics, the same everything, and expect something to change because it's not going to. And I don't understand why he can't see that. So, yeah. That's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this game? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all the good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews, and I'll see you guys next game. Peace out.